Yo, can you please take it a little higher?
What? Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Can you help me out real quick? Do you know where the transpose button is? Well, there's a lot of things that can happen when you have the habit of using the transpose button, and that is actually one of them. So in this video, I'm gonna share with you a couple tips on how to learn to stop using the transpose button as quickly as possible so you don't embarrass yourself. Stay till the end because you don't want to miss the last one. Number one is to just stop. Make a conscious decision of not using the transpose button. Never, ever. No more. No more. No more transpose button. That's how it starts. Because if you don't realize that you don't need it, you're not gonna stop it. Well, what tends to happen a lot of the time is, especially people like me who are, self-taught musicians. We learn a song on the easiest key, which is most of the time C major. And then we learn about the transpose button. Oh, well, what a lifesaver, huh? And when we think that we discovered the magic trick, we just discovered the pianist's poison that will slowly kill you. You will sooner or later embarrass yourself. You're just limiting yourself. Why would you be stuck on one key when you can play on 12, right? It's 12 times more knowledge. You are limiting your vocabulary. Because those same chords that you are playing on different keys, a lot of the time, some chords, let's say for example, some chords that you might be using on the key of A major, you may borrow these chords and play them on C major. Chords that you would probably use on G major, you may borrow them to play on C major, and vice versa. So now you are robbing yourself of the opportunity of learning a lot of things that you can cross-reference on different keys and use those same tools to play better on the key that you want. Now, number two is learning your different scales, your scale degrees, okay, which we call the number system. Okay, let me give you an example. For example, if I'm playing the C major scale, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do, si, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. If I go on C sharp, I have the same sound. Different notes, but same sound. That's a major scale, right? And then back to C, okay? So I'm obviously not comfortable playing the way I am right now because I'm supposed to play on the bottom key, but I haven't found a way yet to connect it to my computer so that you can see, the notes on your screen. But I'll figure it out. So what do I mean by number system? Number system is getting so familiar with these other keys that you can recognize a scale degree, the number of that note in any other scale. For example, on C major scale, this is my 1, this is my 2, this is my 3, my 4, my 5, my 6, my 7, and then back to the 1 again. Okay? I must be able to recognize this immediately when I'm playing on different keys. That's my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Okay, any key that I'm playing, I should be able to recognize those. I say 2 on the key of C. Now 2 on the key of F sharp. 2 on the key of B flat. 2 on the key of D. Okay, 6 on the key of C. 6 on the key of D flat. Okay, 6 on the key of, let's say, B flat. 6 on the key of A flat. Okay, so I must be able to recognize those numbers immediately. Now, how do you do that? Is by practicing. And I'm gonna show you later on, like what can you do to, become familiar with those numbers. Okay. Now, my next tip is to recognize the quality of these numbers. Okay. There's something that I usually call it when I'm teaching my students. I usually call it diatonic chords. What does that mean? Diatonic chords is, when you're playing the chords that are made of the actual notes of the scale. Okay? I'm playing on the key of C. I'm only using notes of the C major scale. D flat. Okay, F. Okay, on any key, you must be able to do that. Okay, so if you have not started yet, you can even pause the video here. Make sure you get that first. Spend a couple weeks doing that on all the scales, the diatonic chords. My 1 on every scale is gonna be the same. 1 is major, 2 is minor, 3 is minor, 4 is major, 5 is major, 6 is minor, 7 is diminished, and 1 is major. Okay, you have to be able to recognize that. How do you do that? By practicing. Sit down and do this for all 12 keys. Do it for C. Do it for C sharp. Do it for D. Do it for D flat. Do it, chromatically for all your 12 keys. Okay? Don't skip that step. Now, this step that I'm about to teach you about is probably one of the most important. Okay? Because if you've been using the transpose button, it's probably too late for you by now to just replicate the same things that you're doing right now on different keys. Why? I said in the beginning, the longer you wait to start transcribing song, playing on different keys, the harder it gets, because in the beginning you were only playing 1, 4, 5, and then you started playing inversions, right? That's more complicated. And then you started adding other scale degrees. That's more complicated. And then you start adding, stuff that are a little more complicated. So now, what you need to put in your mind is as if you are just starting learning your piano all over again. Start small. Okay? Start with an easy song. Mary had a little lamb. Mary had a little lamb, little lamb, little lamb. Mary had a little lamb. Okay, that's easy, right? You're only using 1 and 5. Do it for all the keys. Okay. Do it for all the keys. Try making it a little more complicated, right? Start using some inversions. Okay. Okay, and then do the same thing on all 12 keys. Okay, and then slowly and gradually increase the level of complexity. And then without knowing it, the same complex stuff, you know, the same, right? The same complex stuff that you've been doing on the key of C. Okay, let me try to play a song on C, and then I'm gonna show you the exact same thing that I did on C. That's exactly what I'm gonna do on every other keys. Okay. Da, 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 da. So, right? My bad. Right? Okay, so and then I'm just trying to give you an example. So that's what you gotta do, brother. I've been there too, or sister. I've been there too. I've embarrassed myself. They told me about it, but I didn't listen. They told me you're gonna embarrass yourself sooner or later. Then I did eventually, and then I made a decision for myself to learn how to play on all the keys. And then I learned the scales, and then I started small, you know, little by little. I made a decision. I would rather mess up on those keys that I'm not comfortable in than to use the transpose button. And then here I am. Every other key now feels like C major. And trust me, apply those tips and you can do the same too. See you.